To start off with, my name is Brandon Moore. Most of you guys know me. If you forgot, I did write my name up on the board. My name is on the board not for a bad thing, hopefully. Usually when you write your name on the board, it's because you're in trouble. So just as by way of introduction, I live in Richmond, which is just north of here. It's about maybe 20 miles, 15, 20 miles north. And basically what we have going on is this is an Adilas training class. And Adilas is it's an acronym for all data is live and searchable. We used to live in this little town, and some of these guys are actually from this same area, and the name of the town is actually called Salida, Colorado. And over a meeting one day at lunch, we decided, what would be a cool name for this thing? And we decided, how about Salida spelled backwards, which is Adilas. And then what we did is we basically created an acronym. Like we came up with the name first just because it had a reason for it. And then the acronym for Adilas is all data is live and searchable. So all data is live and searchable. And when we first came up with that acronym, it was kind of funny because it was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun and kind of businessy. As we've grown into it, we're like, oh my goodness, I don't think we really realized what we were getting into, but literally all data is live and searchable. So often what happens in data is people will take things and they'll kind of like stick it in a little cubby hole, or they'll take it, okay, I don't ever want to see you again, and like, but it actually still plays part of the picture, and it's kind of interesting. We're actually kind of saying, hey, let's keep bringing this forward, and we're going to kind of perpetuate it and kind of have some fun stuff like that. What I'd like to do is just kind of introduce everybody so everybody gets to know each other. My name is Brandon. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to say your name, where you're from, and one fun thing that you've done. And then we're going to go back around the room after that and kind of just talk a little bit about like what you want to get out of the class. But let's do one lap, if you will. Just, hey, my name is this, I live here, and here's something fun that I did this past weekend, or this, let's keep it within this last month, something fun that you did. Just let us know a little bit about you, okay? So let's start right here.
Hey, I'm Cheryl Moore. I'm Brandon's mom, and I live in Smithfield, which is about 15 miles north of here. And something I did fun this month, actually, I'm in a master herbalist program, and that's why I want to learn this, so I can keep track of all my herbs and everything that goes on, because there's a bunch of little tiny things. It isn't big stuff, it's little stuff in micro amounts.
Awesome. We have this funny thing, and if I say this word, there's a ton of terminology. Anytime you start a new business, there's like, say we were playing football, what's a touchdown, what's a penalty, every single thing has its own terminology. Well, we're going to call a thing called the Dewey Decimal System. It's not library. Like library is the Dewey Decimal System. You go to this and here's all your call letters and stuff. Well, we codenamed it the Dewey Decimal System because we go out to 5 places of accuracy. Like to split things up, if you really wanted to split it, we just codenamed it the Dewey Decimal System. So we'll talk.
Okay,
we'll talk
good, okay.
Awesome.
I'm Shannon Moore, Cheryl's daughter, Brandon's sister. And so I also live in Smithfield, and I went on a really fun trail run this last weekend down in St. George, so that was great. Love being outside.
With a potential boy that is...
Down in St. George, so she could pick up a baby Grand Clavinova and bring it back.
Yes.
So,
The grandparents gave me, so that was neat.
Awesome. Let's go
I'm Craig Leitner, and I live in Howard, Colorado, which is about 12 miles from Salida. And I guess I'm an associate, I guess, at Adilas. I've worked with Brandon, Steve Berkenkotter for quite a few years now. I was actually, we're sort of on the ground floor of the system, sort of seen it develop over the years. And I guess a fun thing we've done, we had a plane ride over here over the mountains, looking at all the snow that we don't have, you guys have, but I guess the plane ride was the fun thing that I've done the past week.
Awesome. That's great. Just so you know, Craig right here, I've heard this term that his mind is like a steel trap.
Oh.
This young man, like once he gets a concept down, he just like he can lock into it. Originally, when we first started, Adilas was not called Adilas. It was actually under a name called Morningstar, which was a used car dealership and trailer dealership. And what we did is Craig's, one of his job was he was in the accounting department, and he also helped with a floor plan. Millions and millions of dollars, taking titles and bouncing them to the bank, and basically that's how they rolled their money so that they could do what's called a floor plan, which is kind of providing your units and stuff for your lot. And Craig's job was to bounce millions of dollars all around and kind of do this type of stuff. He was primarily the only one tasked with that responsibility. And so he also did sales tax, and he also did, like, Craig did tons of stuff. He was working there before I was working there. So Craig was a long time clear from the get-go of a lot of different things. Awesome, thanks.
My name's Shari, and I live in Lathrop, Colorado, not far from Salida. Can't tell you how far it is, real long ways. And you cheated. My fun thing was the twin trip.
Me too.
We haven't seen Brandon in a long
Yeah,
time.
that was fun too.
Excited. Atlas has grown tremendously. I'm a creature of habit, so I don't slow down and smell the roses per se, and check out the new things. So I'm here to just brush up my skills and be a part of that.
I have sat next to Shari and been like, no way. Like, so let me paint the picture for Shari, okay? She's in her office. She's got these baskets, and it's all organized, and she's got dual monitors up, and she's like this, and the phone's ringing, and she's flipping over here, and she's going this, and she's doing this, and she's sitting here talking to me, and she knows exactly how many keystrokes to do, like how many tabs on the field, and I'm sitting there going, oh my goodness. And she's prepping for payroll, or she's doing something like that. She's like, yeah, I think we ought to do that. That's really good. And I'm like, whoa! But anyway, Shari is awesome, and she was actually an office manager for Morningstar, and they had a number of locations, including out-of-state people, and Shari was kind of primarily handling some of that type of stuff. So right here, 2 big power users, and we're going to keep introducing some other ones. So awesome, good stuff.
My name is David Berkenkotter. I also live in Howard, Colorado, by Salida. I'm one of the original owners of Morningstar Automotive that we started back in 1988. And also one of the original owners of Adilas, along with Steve and my brother Steve. They've been with us ever since this time. And it was fun flying out there all your snow.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great. Just so you guys know, David is deaf. He reads lips very, very well, and he also has a little thing that he can turn on. It's
Ocular implant.
What is it called?
Ocular implant.
Okay, perfect. It actually bypasses the entire eardrum and goes directly straight into the brain waves and canals. It's amazing technology.
Yeah.
We were talking over lunch just the other day, and it was kind of funny. And he's like, I heard birds chirping, like all these different little things. And one time he was actually in the sales office, and there was one of the salesperson there, and he's like, what is that sound? It was thunder. He had never heard thunder before. Like it was just, he was like, oh my goodness.
I'm 50 years old. I've only had it for 5 years. Yeah, a lot of news down.
Wow.
What an noisy world.
Yeah. You can also shut it off, so.
He has selective hearing
Yeah.
when he wants.
And the transfer feature, you guys.
If I don't want to let them, I just turn it off.
Perfect.
Yeah, we've gone over something, it's like, Dave, are you hearing this? No.
No.
That's awesome. Awesome. Let's go ahead and go right here.
Okay, I'm Chris Heaps. I am brand new to this. I work full-time as an accountant for a software company. So, yeah, so they just,
Nice.
Wayne was telling me about this wonderful opportunity, so I thought I'd just take a look, see what you guys are up to and doing.
It's fun.
Is that,
It is, it's fun. I've watched it grow. I haven't been around as long as this one, or Brandon. And it was phenomenal to watch it just continue to grow. My biggest yay yoo-ha was when they implemented payroll. It would take me a week and a half, 2 weeks to prepare for payroll for 45 employees. And they implemented payroll, and I mean, everybody heard me throughout the office because I could get those employees paid within 2 hours, have my payroll taxes done. It was huge. it was huge. They've implemented a lot of things that it's phenomenal. Because I worked in QuickBooks, I worked in Peachtree, I've done 7 column ledgers. So it's a nice change of pace and it works well.
Awesome, awesome. Great.
Excited to see what you've got going, so.
Chris is also an instructor. She teaches computer classes. She actually teaches QuickBooks, and she works for the college here. She actually teaches a number of people around the valley, just instructor-wise, like how to run businesses and how to do stuff. And so we have a master of a different product, but it's wonderful.
Great.
Well, I do a lot of Microsoft Office, a lot of
okay.
Excel training, a lot of that type of stuff. Yeah, who won't
Nice.
how many decades I've been doing that. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Yeah.
That's awesome. So this is Chris, okay? Awesome. Let's go back there in the back. Who's that young lady back there?
I'm Heather. I'm Brandon's wife, and I'm here to support him. And I've heard a lot about Adilas for a long time. Probably don't understand as well as I should, as much as he's talked about it. But some fun things I was thinking I've been doing is with my daughter lately, because she's been giving me some attitude, but lately it's been a little bit better. And one morning I crimped her hair, and then she had to talk to me, and it was something she couldn't do for herself, and so it was really good. And then just taking her shopping and getting some new clothes and things, so that's been good.
Awesome. So this is my support right there, okay? Very important that everybody knows this. And then oftentimes I'll write something. Part of my job is explaining how to do this or that or whatever. And I have slang, and I have skateboard mentality and snowboard mentality. And so I'm sitting here writing, and it's almost into this jive type language, and she's like, that's not gonna work. But Heather helps me out tremendously, and she hears both the pros and the cons. And to be totally honest, in our line of work, what actually happens is you go like this. Wow, look what we can do! Oh, what you purposely, and it's not even something that we try to do, but you naturally take little dips like that, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast. But anyway, she has been my support, and that is a huge part of the Adilas, even though she doesn't touch a little bit of it as far as the code. I'll ask her, hey, what do you think of this? Like, she's an artist, and so she'll give me feedback, and she's my spell checker. How do you spell mountain again? Like, I can't even remember, but she is awesome. But that is my wife, Heather, and she's a huge portion of Adilas. So it's awesome stuff. Who's that young gentleman right there?
I'm Steve Berkenkotter, and I have a son that's 14 months old. So something fun that I've done in the last month is go to the park with him a few times. When you get up to a certain level with customers and code and a little bit of everything, you have to take a little break. So we ride our bicycle down to the park and have fun. And I'm just happy to be part of the project as well.
Awesome. Okay, I have to brag on Steve a little bit, if you're okay with this, alrighty? So Steve is actually the one who originally hired me, and what happened was is I graduated from Utah State University here in Logan, and I graduated in business, and I decided I do not want to be in a cubicle. I want to go play, and so I looked online, and I found this spot in Salida, Colorado that offered raft guiding, kayak instruction, and rock climbing, and I was like, sign me up! And so I left the business world in a way. I had been a raft guide in Alaska and other things through college, and so I went out. That's what actually got me out to Salida, and then basically as the summer progressed, we went through it, and I had a little teeny family. My oldest daughter, that she's talking, has possibly a little attitude, was 8 months old, like teeny. And so we get out there, and being a raft guide is great if you're single and you're okay to live in the back of a pickup truck. But with a family and a small child, it wasn't making it. And so what ended up happening is I found an ad in the paper. These guys were looking for somebody to help do data entry for their accounting department because they had a need to kind of do some of the stuff. And so I said, hey, I can help you there. I can at least type. And by the way, I can maybe help you with your website. I had done a few little small website type stuff. And they're like, "Whoa, we really want to get a website." And so we actually had a little meeting, and I ended up getting hired by that young man right there. And I have to brag one more thing about you. And Steve, I'm going to say it because you're not going to say it yourself, okay? The brainchild behind Adilas is Stephen Berkenkotter, okay? My goal is to play, is to have fun, is to... Steve's goal is business and the game of business and how he likes to do it. And so basically, what ended up happening is he would create these ideas. I sure wish we could do this. This would be really cool if we could do this, 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 this. And he would line it out in such a way that I can follow those steps, no problem. And then we would basically try to put it together. And this happened over and over and over again. Basically, we had no clue even where we were going. And I'll say this as well, we have no clue even where we're going right now. What we do is we build it out to a certain place, and you can see just in front of you. Imagine driving like a car. If you have headlights, I can see in front of us. I see the next couple things that need to happen. I cannot see clear around the next corner, over the next hill, all this kind of stuff. I know I'm headed in a certain direction, and I know where I want to go, but I cannot see everything that's going to happen. But I can see what's happening right in front of me, like, okay, looks like we need to take care of this, we need to take care of this. And we just keep taking those next steps into the dark. And that's literally what we do with this program. We don't have anything that it's like, okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this. Matter of fact, as we started, our entire original operation was 5 years of it was strictly just inventory tracking. Matter of fact, there was a distinct line, almost to the point of shields and swords, between operations and accounting, okay? And we've got some desks right here, and I'm going to kind of draw this analogy. You have one side, you have the other side, and there literally was a chasm, okay? And this chasm is called time, it's called communication, it's called a bunch of different things. These guys would do their little things, and eventually they would pass it over here, and then these guys would do their things, and eventually management, wherever they were situated, they were like, okay, I finally can see that, but there was this time lag, and there was this communication gap, and there was a number of things that were happening, okay? We're going to come back to that right now. We're still kind of doing some introductions real quick, but just so you know, we are going to talk a little bit about that kind of a chasm, and what we ended up doing inside of Adilas is Steve came up with the idea of a zipper, okay? So if I use my fingers, and I go like this, if this is the chasm right here, and you have to jump way over this thing, you either have to have a really good bridge, or a rocket pack, or a helicopter, okay? One of the two. Or you descend and climb back up. Okay, so if you zipper it and you slowly start, what happens, eventually you can start getting things coming together, okay? It would be awesome if it was perfectly like this. I would say we're about that level, okay? Just shy of getting everything all the way buttoned, all the way up. But that's kind of where we're working and kind of how things are going, okay? Let's go right here for the last actually, we've got one more introduction. I want to do my dad as well. Let's do Ethan right now.
My name is Ethan. I live in Canyon City, Colorado. And the funnest thing I did this week, I have an exchange student in our house, and we got the ping pong table out and had a little ping pong tournament. He's a little Japanese kid. Didn't really play, so we had a lot of fun. And so that was good. I'm excited about Atlas. I'm not an accountant, but I grew up on the other side where there was a time frame in all my businesses between the information in my accounting and what I need to know, and it used to drive me crazy. And the literally 1,000 people I put in business franchising, it was always their issue. The information that let them know what they were really doing sometimes was always too late to make a wise decision.
Okay, perfect. That exists, okay? And we'll talk about that more, but that is wonderful. So, can I brag on you for a second? I don't know everything about this, but I understand that this young man is going doctorate in...
No, seminary degree, just my seminary master's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, back, I'm doubling down and have a whole... You can tell how excited I am about this because I should not be here. I have a lot of homework for a 50-year-old. This is crazy, but I'm loving it. It's awesome. I'm almost done.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great skill to have, and I'm not trying to make a statement or anything, but I believe in God and I solicit His help. So I think that is
good for you.
It's good stuff, and I think it's great if you can help people do that type of thing too as well. Awesome.
Good to be here.
Dad, why don't we have you kind of come out over here by your wife, and maybe you can come and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Wayne Moore, and I'm along for the ride. Actually, Brandon and I have done a lot of things, and I told him to come to a class a long, long time ago, and he actually listened. It was a cold fusion class. I came for a week or two. I had a national training center here, and he came, and I said, you need to learn cold fusion and flash. And he knows both of those super well, and I think he uses a lot of other things, but that's really where it started, long, long ago. So anyway, I am along for the ride. I'm here for the filming, so I enjoy it. So that's all.